So here are two of our motion catalyst systems. One you can see here is embedded in the floor, so it's actually level with the surface. The plates are relatively light, you can move them around. Here are two of them sitting on top, so you can see they're about 3 inches above. What we need users to know is these are research grade force plates. So these are force plates that are being used in medical laboratories and big research laboratories all over the world. The signal coming out of these plates, if used correctly, is 100% accurate. But what are some things that our users should know about testing athletes, let's just say in a vertical jump, to make sure they're getting good data?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest two things to know are that when you set your force plates down and turn them on, that they're measuring at 0. Second one is, if I'm gonna run a test on myself, when I stand on the plates, I need to stand still, and I can't be wobbling from side to side, looking around, because all of these movements will create vertical forces that the plates will pick up. And if my body weight is incorrect, all of the calculations from the force plates will be off. Now this holds true across all force plates, all softwares. Everything is predicated on the fact that body weight is measured correctly.
And these are collecting at 1,000 hertz, so they're collecting 1,000 pictures every second. So very small little micro movements will be picked up. That's one of the benefits of these force plates, but also one of the detriments if your athlete is kind of just messing around a little bit, any kind of wobble, any kind of sway. You were saying even chewing gum at the point of before you collect could alter the numbers.
Yep. Chewing gum, looking around from the head, oscillating the toes, moving the arms back and forth, all of that can send force into the plates and distort your body weight.
And so getting a very good 0 number is going to be very important, or your body weight number, to calculate all of the key metrics that we were talking about. And so really important that you watch for those things. The software we're going to design is going to have some checks in there to make sure if you're way off or if it's wobbling a little too much, it might say, you might want to check that one, you might want to look at it again. So lots of things you need to think about. Every single test is going to have their own instructions to do the test correctly. So for example, let's say a squat jump. There are things that somebody could do to kind of mess with those results as well. So what have you seen in squat jumps that could make them?
So a squat jump would theoretically be, you would stand on the plates, get your body weight, sit down to 90 degrees and hold still. If I were to drop and go, that would be a problem because it's no longer a static squat jump.
No, that's a counter movement jump.
Correct.
Right.
Or in a counter movement jump, if I were to stand still, eject some positive impulse, then drop into my test, it affects the acceleration on the downward start. So either of those things can mess with results.
Right, so there's a lot of things we need to think about. You have to be, you have to understand you're using research grade equipment to do your testing, so you have to be almost an amateur scientist when you're running these tests. And in order to compare day to day or athlete to athlete, we have to make sure the conditions are the same and that we're getting reliable inputs.
Yeah, that's really the goal, is just do the same thing every time you run the test so that the data you look at is the same.
Right.
And the only thing adjusting is the performance of the test.
Of the individual. And so really important that you're careful with that, but we will have the software help you along with that to make sure that we're getting good, reliable information when you're testing your athletes.